Comrade Show, wait, Comrade Lante Oriente. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes.
Comrade Show, wait.
Yes. Distinguished viewers of the Comrade Show, you are all welcome to this epic program. First of all, let me apologize. We are starting about 15 minutes behind schedule. We're sorting out some technical issues on the board here. So we apologize for starting behind time. You are welcome. Please, you know the drill. Share this broadcast. Share this broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, on all our social media handles. It's good to have you all here with us this beautiful Sunday evening. You all know the time and the season we are in. Like somebody said last week, and he quoted from the Bible. He said, the men of Issachar, they led the children of Israel because they had understanding of what they needed to do at this time. As a country, our country, Nigeria, we all know what we need to do at this time. So today we are continuing the conversation on the road to a new Nigeria. When we have another big elephant in the house, we'll introduce him to you in a short while. I want to quickly say that I'm not alone in the house. I have my musketeer with me here, the one who has nicknamed this program the Sunday Tonic. I'm talking of no other than obedient pharmacist Austin Iremiran. Pharmacist, greet our people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. It's always a pleasure to be in your company. For our wonderful viewers far and wide, friends and fans of the Comrade Show, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the globe. This beautiful day, the 15th of January 2023. Like Dr. Tony Agbons informed, we are still on the road to 2023, and today we have somebody that is very important, playing a very important role in the Obidati movement to talk us through. And you know the deal. Always share, and share. I welcome you cacabolically. Don't touch that die.
Thank you so much, my brother, obedient pharmacist Remina, for that warm welcome to all our viewers worldwide. So, viewers of the Comrade Show, without much ado, I want to bring to us our special guest today, a prominent Nigerian, very obediently useful for this season and beyond. I'm talking of no other than Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. Dr. Chidi, before I bring him, I just want to introduce him to us. He is the Deputy Head Directorate of the Big Tent and member of the Peter Obi Strategy Committee. So we have here with us Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. So viewers across the globe, I want to present to us our special guest today. Dr. Chidi, greet our people.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, fellow obedience worldwide. It's my pleasure to be with you this evening or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are.
Thank you so much, Doc. It's our pleasure having you right here with us. We know you have a lot in stock to tell the obedient family worldwide. So please, our viewers also want to quickly inform us that due to some very urgent and unforeseen circumstances, our comrade CNC, talking about the Grand Commander of the Order of Obedience himself, Comrade Lamte Kponsa Oriahi, is unavoidably absent today. But probably maybe at some point he may or maybe not, but we apologize. He's not able to join us for this show. So I am obedient Dr. Tony Agbonsewafe. I'll be anchoring to this show. So you are all welcome. So before we start the ball rolling, today, like Pharmacist Remembrance said, is January the 15th. And it's a unique day in the annals of our history. And today is Armed Forces Remembrance Day. So before we go to talk about politics, we want to just, Pharmacist Remembrance, Armed Forces Remembrance Day. What have you got to say? It's a unique day in the history of our country.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. It is absolutely unique. It's even more very, very difficult, painful, and a reality to speak about security at the moment in Nigeria. Like many people have said, we appear to be in normal times, but yet we are at war. And many of our armed forces have given all they have to make Nigeria one, and Nigeria is still on the journey. So today is a day to commiserate with the families of our fallen hero, and also to say that our fallen hero have not died in vain. They died for the unity, progress, stability, and oneness of our great country. So I join the federal government to remember them and to say they shall never be forgotten. May their souls continue to rest in perfect peace. And may the blood that they've shed for our country make our country strong so that they will be happy wherever they are.
Thank you very much. Dr. Chidi, is Armed Forces Remembrance Day today. You want to say something as well?
Yeah, I'm going to use this opportunity to celebrate our gallant soldiers that have paid the supreme price by dying for this nation in the various works of security, in defense of the security of this nation. And I want to assure them and their families that their death will not be in vain, because when Peter Gregory Obi becomes the president and commander-in-chief of armed forces of Federal Republic of Nigeria, he will begin to make sure that our armed forces are well taken care of, that they are well recognized as the true heroes of the nation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. So I also join everyone here in the studio and all Nigerians globally to thank members of the armed forces, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Air Force, and other security forces, agencies in Nigeria for the work they are doing. Many, like we have said, have paid the supreme price to keep our country together and to keep us all safe. We remember them and we remember their families, and even those who are serving now. We acknowledge the great work you are all doing. So may God continue to protect all members of the Nigerian Armed Forces. All right, gentlemen, we go straight now to the nitty-gritty of today. And I'm going to start now. Dr. Chidi, we know
Yes, my brother.
that you are very much involved in the Obidati campaign, the movement, everything. But Nigerians all over the world, we want to know, in these days when we don't know whether people went to primary school, secondary school, or university, who is Dr. Chidi Okpaluba? Tell us a little bit about yourself, very briefly, so that we know
Okay.
your alma mater.
Okay, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba started his primary school at the Railway Hut Primary School, Aba, and then completed the primary school at the Umuabai East Community School. Then he proceeded to Oga Boys Secondary School in Anambra State, the same school the current governor of Anambra State attended, Oga Boys Secondary School. From there, he went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he graduated from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine with distinction. And Dr. Chidi Okpaluba is also an alumni of Lagos Business School.
Thank you so much. So, viewers of the Comrade Show, you can see that our guest today, he read book well, and you have mentioned the UNN, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So I'm going to fact check now to know where Dr. Chidi is coming from, and we will look for your old voice and UNN, as Nsukka Alumni Association. You know, we're in the season of verification, and fact checking. Yes, obedient pharmacist Remembrance, I can see you are smiling. Your first question to
Yeah,
Dr. Okpaluba.
thank you very much. In all our years of doing this, I have not been privileged to interview a veterinary doctor. I know reading that course is very difficult, and even for UNN. Remember the almighty June. God bless you, sir. I haven't
Thank
said that
you.
straight away. Yeah, I just want to say, sir, we love to have you here. You are welcome. Straight to the point. It's 42 days to this much talked about elections. And looking at the role you are playing, you are a strategist for the Obidati movement and also for the big team. In terms of strategy and rally, what is happening? What is the Obidati movement doing? How far?
Well, we are doing everything that we need to do. You know, we are not a conventional political party. The labor movement is more of a movement than a political party. And we don't want to approach the party by the rented crowd they have in the rallies of the opposition political parties. We are approaching the campaign in strategic ways where we are reaching the people that matter the most and communicating to them and speaking to the core needs of those people. We don't want to run the campaign in the usual way where crowds are hired to come to a ground and then a field, and really nothing is said by the contestant who makes no statement, who addresses no issue of concern to the citizens, who just goes there and just the razzmatazz, and that's all. Our campaign is issue driven. We are actually going from state to state, addressing critical stakeholders and sharing with them our own solution to the multifaceted problems facing Nigeria today as a nation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okpaluba. I really like the angle you are coming from now. But one major, I know you are in the strategy team, but there's a major concern that a lot of Nigerians are having, and that is with regards to the fact that Peter Obi is very popular in the south. So what is really happening in the northern part of Nigeria?
Okay, we may not see it, but as a matter of fact, Peter Obi has had a very deep penetration of most of the northern states. I can tell you for sure, we are taking the entire north central and we're getting part of the northwest and a little bit of the part of the northeast. We know where our strengths are. And from Wednesday this week, we will be storming the entire north region. From Wednesday to the election week, Obidati campaign movement will be in every nook and cranny of the northern states.
That is very reassuring. Pharmacist Remembrance, this is very reassuring. I want
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Chidi. I was going to suggest, because friends have said it, we don't want to see Obi anywhere in the south anymore. He should relocate and have a permanent seat in the north from now to election day, and only come to the south very sparingly.
As a matter of fact, from Wednesday up till the end of this month, every single day, Obi will be visiting a particular state in the north until every state and every stakeholder in the northern region of the country is visited and gotten over to the obedient side.
I must say today is epic, because I think for viewers that will be listening to us today, they must be very happy with that statement. And I make bold to say that you are very sure, because you are in the strategy. Obi need to be fully resident in the north now, because deliver of those votes we must. February 25 is just absolutely okay.
As soon as he comes back from the Chatham House event tomorrow, he will be back to Nigeria on Tuesday, and from Wednesday morning, he's hitting the north completely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okpaluba. Breaking news, Comrade Show, Obi Dati movement will be resident fully in the north, and they will be campaigning from everywhere in the north up until February 2025. Thank you, February 25, 2023. Thank you very much. I go straight now, Mr. Okpaluba. As a strategist, you will understand that there's been lots of problems regarding PVC. And PVC is very pivotal in these elections. Some are arguing that the South is the only region having problem with collection of PVCs. We don't hear these complaints in the North. Do you sense marginalization, or is that a strategy by those in power to deprive people of voting? And if that is true, why is it that there is nothing coming out from the Obidati movement and even the Big Tent to speak to this issue? It's like we are just leaving it and are leaving God to do his work. God cannot do his work if men try.
No. We are doing our best. As a matter of fact, even before INEC made the collection of the PVC, the collection day started, we organized a nationwide PVC advocacy work to bring it to the attention of INEC for the need to complete the assignment by ensuring that every registered voter receive their PVC. And we have not stopped at that. We are also calling off a press conference next week to ensure that INEC does not fail in that responsibility of ensuring that every registered voter gets their PVC. We're actually calling on INEC not to close. There's no point closing the collection of PVC dates. Why closing it? People should be able to collect their PVC until probably a day to the election. And INEC need to have more people, hire more hands to ensure more hands. Yes, more hands. Probably get some people to join them in terms of making. I think they have the INEC is not properly staffed to handle the surge, the number of people that are coming for their PVCs. So there is need for INEC to increase their staff strength, or the people that are hiring for the interim, so that these things can be done. We are pushing on INEC to see that the days, INEC had extended the date, I think, down to 29th of January. We are still saying that's not enough. The date should be extended till at latest, probably maybe a few days, if not just a day to the election. That's their position. And the civil society group, they are not resting in pushing INEC, making sure that INEC ensures that there is no uncollected PVC in their office. I know because of the new technology introduced by INEC, the Vivas technology, maybe the only way to rig the election is to stop the obedience from collecting their PVCs. And we're going to make sure that every obedient that is ready to collect their PVC gets their PVC.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. I'm just reading, a chat from one of our viewers. This is Arobonosen Okokone. He said, "I'm obedient and I'm living in the UK. I'm talking with my friend and relatives to vote Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati for a better Nigeria." So this is, a message from a Nigerian living in the diaspora. And that takes me to the next question I want to ask you. We know that Mr. Peter Obi is, speaking at Chatham House tomorrow. We want to hear a proper talk, not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego sharing of tasks with some people. I don't want to mention name. So tomorrow we are looking forward to hearing Dr. Obi. So, but Dr. Chidi, you agree with me that the diaspora is a powerful force. So, as a member of the Big Tent, the strategy committee for Peter Obi Dati campaign, how is your team harnessing the power of the Nigerian diaspora to deliver the Obi presidency?
You know that if you look at it, our candidate Peter Obi had been the only candidate that have taught almost.
I think we've lost the audio there. So, Pharmacist Remiran, why is back on? Yeah, we lost you a bit there. So if
Sorry,
you go on,
I
sir.
said Our candidate is the one that actually taught most of the countries to show you the importance of diaspora. We know that there is no country that develops without the input of their diaspora. Diasporas, Nigerians are very important in PO's program. And we want them to know that when PO wins this election, we don't want them to just be sending welfare economy. We want them to start coming back to Nigeria to become that investors that are needed to jumpstart this economy. That's why PO took time to go around the United States, go around Canada, to UK and other parts of the country, other parts of the world, to speak to the diasporans in particular. And he has promised you that once he wins this election, 2027 election, Nigerians living outside the country will be able to vote.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba, for that very warm words with regards to the Nigerian diaspora. Pharmacist Remira, your next question for our guest.
I must thank Dr. Chidi Okpaluba re-echoing all this. I can't wait 2027 where diasporans will be able to vote. But Dr. Chidi Okpaluba, there has been this news, and I think it's seriously beginning to overwhelm the obedient by those detractors. They are saying that we will soon be financially cash trapped, and that members of the Obidati movement will not have people to mount those polling booths as working for the Obidati movement on that day. And people are worried that that might be one avenue where they might just be able to rig us out of these elections. Are you worried? And what is the plan by the Obidati movement to make sure that we have returning officers by the parties in all the different polling booths in Nigeria, knowing that this will require huge logistic and financial implication?
Can I tell you something? The Big Tent, which is a major support group of the Obidati campaign movement, we already have a solid arrangement in place. We're going to have a minimum of 5 to 10 people manning the polling units on that election day. We've gotten a minimum of 5 already in every polling unit. We're already populating it. Before that election, we will have a minimum of 10 people per polling unit. So people thinking that they're going to go there and rig the election, they're just joking or they're dreaming, because we will not allow them. We are going to have full soldiers who are going to be there from the beginning of the voting to the end of the voting and follow the ballot boxes to the local government where they're going to be collected. We have that in place. Anybody thinking that we're not going to run out of cash. The election day funding is already in place. Every single dime that will be required for the logistics of the election day is in place as I'm speaking to you now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. For all our viewers and everybody worldwide, I think the answer that Dr. Chidi Okpaluba just gave, Dr. Tony Agbos, you agree with me, is very reassuring, because this is what they are peddling around, that we are not ready, the obedient movement doesn't have anybody. Dr. Chidi Okpaluba has told us today that the OB movement, in virtually every polling unit, they have nothing less than 5 people that will be working for the Obidati movement. So be rest assured, our people, if you are still worried.
Thank you so much, Pharmacist Remira. And thank you, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. For a veterinary doctor to be loaded with strategy like this is something that is really, really exciting and interesting. I really like the way you are giving very prompt and nailing the answer to the questions that we are asking. I have this message here from one of our viewers, Ekono Enuma. Not this one. There's one other message. Somebody, left and is talking about people not knowing about,
Obidati in Uromi.
This is even in some villages. So, and this brings me to the question, Dr. Chidi. These different support groups, we know that there are splinters, they are here and there. How is the strategy team, synergizing what they are doing? Because a lot of them just seem to be, I don't want to use the word all over the place, but you know what I mean. So how are you guys working on this?
Yeah, it might interest you to know that we just concluded all support groups conference in Abuja on Thursday last week. All support groups, Obidati support groups, gathered in Abuja in a conference. The hall was jam-packed. We started that conference by a walk, Obidati walked around Abuja to show solidarity and to show the people of Nigeria that we are ready to take over the leadership of this country and bring Nigeria out of the precipice and put Nigeria on the path, on the trajectory for progress and prosperity. After that, we entered into the conference. The purpose of the conference was to re-energize the support groups who actually started this movement. This movement was not started by P2P. This movement was started by the support groups. They are the true obedience. So that's why I tell you, Obi emergence in the Nigerian political scene is not the making of any man. It's not something money can change. It is a mandate, it's a movement, a spontaneous movement of the people who are tired of the mess in the country. It's a spontaneous movement of the people who are tired of the political elite, the political bandits taking over this country for whatever it takes. The political elite who had kind of hypnotized majority of the population, keeping majority in poverty, keeping majority in ignorance, and continue to rise short on us, making sure that we are kept perpetually down and a few of their families enjoy. Nigeria is so blessed. So the support group, they are not working for P2P. The support groups are working to redeem and to deliver Nigeria from the stranglehold of these wicked politicians.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. The support groups, they are a movement of their own. They are working, not at cross purpose, but working to actualize the vision that we all are looking forward to, making sure that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is elected President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Dr. Yusuf Dati Ahmed is elected Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come February 25, 2023. Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. Pharmacist Remembrance.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. I must thank you. I'm quite impressed with the very swift way with which you've been answering all our questions. But I just want to take you to another part. In this day and age where endorsement is here and there, we've had former President Obasanjo endorse Obi as a veritable candidate and somebody that should be elected. We've had Ayo Adebanjo also done that, and E.K. Clark. How did you see this endorsement? And what does it mean? Does it mean that the Obi movement will just relax his home and dry?
The endorsement is only a sign that the emergence of P2P is the answer to the cries of millions of Nigerians who had been put down by the political bandit that is ruling this country. The endorsement, each of these old men that is taking risks and coming out and saying, I support Obi, they want to write their names in gold in the stand of time. That look, when it mattered most, we spoke out the truth. Everybody in Nigeria knows today that among the three major contestants, Obi is the only one that has the capability, that has the capacity, that has the competence, that has what it takes, the integrity, the trust, the required presence of mind required to lead a country that is at this level of crossroads. Obi is the only one who possesses that level of intellectual capacity, the reasonings and the mind that is sound enough to. So when Edwin Clark or Ayo Adebanjo or Chief Olusegun Obasanjo came out and said, I'm endorsing Obi, they are just saying the obvious, that actually they are just bold enough to stand for the truth. I remember someone said that the future will not forgive those who have this exceptional ability to speak the truth, but kept quiet. Every elder statesman, it is the time for them to answer their name. It is the time for them to come out and tell us that, look, for the future of this country, we have seen only one candidate who has what it takes to lead this country out of the doldrums. And that person is His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi and Badati Baba Ahmed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. Really, really interesting listening to you. I like your vibrancy and your vibe. God bless you, sir. And this brings me to the from your name. I know that you are from the East, and we saw what has happened with a lot of the elite from the eastern part of Nigeria. You know, it is often said that a prophet has no honor but in his own, community. What will you attribute to all the ranting from the political elite, the political establishment in the East against the candidacy of Dr. Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati? And I know Obi is the main person they are calling out. So I know you will speak as an Easterner yourself, though we are all Nigerians.
Okay, you see, it's very funny. The battle between us, before us today, is a battle of the oppressed and the oppressor. The political elite in Anambra State or Imo State or in the entire southeastern region of Nigeria are part of that political bandit class that has held this country in bondage all these years. They are part of the conspiratory class that has kept Nigeria from moving forward. They are part of this elite, this 1% elite that do not want Nigeria to progress. So you do not expect them to jump into the bandwagon of this transformation that is sweeping across, because they know when Obi comes into power, it will not be business as usual. So do not expect them to start singing Obi's praises when it may mean taking away food from their table. They have been part of the sharing formula. They have been part of the world without production, world without enterprise that has actually bedeviled this country. So if they do not support Obi's candidacy, don't be worried. They're just in the minority. The majority of the people that are more part of the 133 million Nigerians living in multi-dimensional poverty, they are part of the Nigerians that are suffering from insecurity, will support Obi. And this election is actually a class war between the House and the have-not, between those that have suppressed us over these past 60 years and those that have suppressed. It's not between the South and the North. It's not between the East and the West. It is actually a war between the bandit elite and the oppressed and the mass majority of the poor Nigerians that have suffered in the hands of these people. So I am not expecting them to support us. Whatever happens, His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi will be the president of Nigeria come 29 May 2023. Not because of all that we have done, because it is the mind of God for Nigeria as of today. Whether we do anything or not, even though we're not going to fold our hands, Obi will still be the president of Nigeria. Now, don't get scared when a certain governor does not endorse Obi, because again, most of them are selfish. You know, the first law of survival is self-preservation. So that in new emerging Nigeria, where is their place? All they're trying to do is to secure their sharing position in the new emerging nation. and they might not find that prominent place. And because of that, they might want to disrupt whatever we're doing. But you know, we are in the majority. The masses are in the majority. The poor people are in the majority. And we are going to ensure that a new Nigeria becomes possible in May, on 25th of February, 2023.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okpaluba. You are exuding. Well, this one is not confidence. I say when confidence is a bit gone beyond the highest, you say confido. I love your confido, sir. Extremely, extremely. And we believe, like other obedience all over the world, that it is time for us to take back Nigeria. Pharmacist Remira, over to you, sir.
Yeah, I just enjoyed the interview by Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. I just want to say that in these very difficult times, many people have argued that Nigeria is so rich. And we need a man that should come into our country to come and spend those money. Only recently, Jagaban, the Emiloka, accused Obi of leaving Anambra State people very poor. He collected their money and refused to spend their money. Is it true that Nigeria is rich and we need a spender? We don't need a stingy man. What do you have to say, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba? Are this stingy and spending money?
I think Nigerians should not be deceived. What Emiloko did not give you any data, any empirical evidence to show. As a matter of fact, by the time Peter Obi got to power in Anambra State, the poverty rate in Anambra State was at 54%. By the time Obi left power, the poverty rate had dropped 11%. Anambra is one of the states in Nigeria that has the lowest poverty rate, meaning Peter Obi, despite the fact that he saved so much money, was able to lift so many people out of poverty that the poverty rate dropped from 54% to 11%. Anambra, during Peter Obi's regime, had the lowest unemployment rate. Anambra, during Peter Obi's regime, had the lowest maternal mortality rate. Anambra State, during Peter Obi's regime, won the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Fund for states that met the Millennium Development Goal on health. Now, if Peter Obi did not do well as a governor, how did he improve all these governance indices? Just sitting and reading, he was even reading that thing. So it's not even, I don't think it's his opinion. Somebody wrote it for him and he's reading it and probably doesn't understand what he was saying. So I do not see how it makes sense that in this country where governors borrow money we don't have, like this present leadership have borrowed, today we have almost 80 trillion naira in debt. Is that the government who want to? Every country should think about their future. The Bible even said that a good parent will leave inheritance for their children. You don't leave that for your children. Tinubu is telling us that he's leaving trillions of naira debt for the Lagosians. And where is that money put into? Today, Lagos is the second worst city to live in the whole world. Lagos is described as an urban slum. What has he done? His been in government in Lagos State, directly or indirectly, has been responsible for everybody that has been in government in Lagos State, from the governorship position to the councillors. And yet, he has not improved the lot of Lagosians. Most Lagosians spend 30% of their lifetime on traffic. How could he say that? Obi improved the overall. You look at the performance through the human capital index. Obi improved every aspect of the human capital index in Anambra State. So anybody saying he was prudent, he's not stingy. Obi is not stingy. Obi is prudent. He doesn't throw away money. He doesn't waste resources. Why would you go about drinking champagne when 20 million Nigerians are out of school? Does it make sense? Any leader that will not appreciate the quality of leadership of Obi is an enemy of Nigeria. And of course, you know, Emiloko is part of the conspiratory bandit elites that have kept this country down all these years.
Dr. Chidi, I couldn't agree with you more, but remember the man we are talking about was the man that founded Lagos. Lagos never existed.
Oh yes, so Dr. Chidi, that's the founder of Lagos. So
Lagos never existed.
So Dr. Chidi, you have to look at this your strategy very well.
That what?
He's the man that founded Lagos.
I didn't hear you.
I was trying to say in a very joking way that the man we are talking about is the man that found Lagos. Lagos never existed.
Lagos was there even before the amalgamation of Nigeria. Lagos have been in existence before Nigeria became. So absolutely. Lagos have been there, and Lagos became the capital of Nigeria. And tell me one outstanding infrastructure that the Jagaban developed while he was governor between 1999 and 2007. Show me one, just one. Mention one. Everything you see in Lagos today was either done by Fashola or Ambode. Even Fashola, to tell you how bad the Jagaban is, he refused Fashola a second term until people protested. He refused Ambode a second term and succeeded in stopping him. The best governor Lagos ever had. He never allowed him to do a second term. Why? Not because he didn't do well as a governor, because he didn't meet his own personal selfish interest.
Thank you very much, Dr. Okpaluba. So our viewers, our lines are opened. You can call in. Is displayed on our screen here. Call in.
I can't hear you.
Our lines are opened. Our viewers of the Comrade Show, you can ring in to ask Dr. Okpaluba your question. These are the men of the inner caucus of the Obidati campaign process. So some of those questions you have been asking us, pick your phone and dial in to make your contribution or your question. So Dr. Okpaluba, I work with data. And I know, of course, you being a policy and strategy person, you understand what data is. Just this week, INEC released the total number of voters. I think about 93.4 million voters for this election. And before now, somebody can get 15 million, 12 million and become president of Nigeria. You can even get 190,000 votes and you win and become a governor. We have seen it happen in Nigeria. But in this 2023 election, we have seen that the awareness is so high. And when you look at the figures that were released by INEC, 37 million of that figure, they are young people between the ages of 18 to 34. And then those between the ages of 35 to 49 is another 33 or 34 million. So when you look at these two age brackets, they constitute about 74.9% of the total voters. So if we can extrapolate, we say 75%. And we know that the Obidati movement, the obedient movement, is one that is being pushed by the youthful Nigerian population. So how are we leveraging on this great demographic that will guarantee us victory in this election? I want you to speak to that.
I'm not very sure I got the questions and clearly because it looks like the network fluctuated. But if you are speaking about the population of the youth among the registered voters, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Now, obviously, like I said before, before people didn't have interest in registering or voting. It is P2B's entrance into this race that elicited the interest you have today across the country. P2B has changed the way politics is played in Nigeria. Today, that's why Peter...
Go on, sir. We are hearing you. Go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can hear you. Go on, Dr. Chidi.
Okay. That's why if you know, our strongest demography are the youth. The strongest component of this movement are the young people. and they make up 75% of the voting population. Now, they are the people that their future is at stake. They are the ones that will suffer most if we get in another epileptic leadership. So, and I know they have decided to take back their country in their hands. I tell you something. A Clean Up Nigeria exercise, the 17th of December in Lagos, are the 20 government areas in Lagos State. And we found out that the young people, the Aborigines, the people that are living on the streets, when they saw us marching, they came out and joined us. And they told us that they are tired of living in the condition they live currently. And they want a change. And they will do everything to support a new government to come into power. We asked them if they had a PVC, and they said they have. And they are going to vote for PO. Go and talk to every young Nigerian, whether from the North. Today, the North is tired of their leadership. The Northern elite had impoverished the entire North. They had made North the poverty capital of the world. They have made North a wasteland of death and brutality. They have made the northern part of Nigeria a place where 22 or more million Nigerians are out of school. Why should a young child not have an opportunity to go to school in a country so blessed as Nigeria? That's why I call on every young Nigerian to ensure they exercise their right to vote in a new president, to make sure they are part of bringing this change, because this change must come. If we make the mistake and not enforce this change, Nigeria may not be. It will be a disaster of monumental proportion. We must ensure that this change that is hovering around the Nigerian ecosystem comes to be at the 25th February presidential election. The youths are the major part of the Obidati movement. And I'm sure they are going to support and vote largely for Obi. And they are the ones that are going to man the polling units to ensure that nobody rigs the election. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi, for that answer. Thomas Remembrance, take the mic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Chidi. Thank you, Dr. Tony Agbons. I think Dr. Chidi is doing a lot of good job today. Dr. Chidi, I want to take you to the angle of security. And I want to look at security from two angles. Not the Nigerian security now, but the security covering the Obidati movement and all obedient. We've heard fairly recently where strong people of the Obi movement were killed and their house attacked. I think there was a lady, one of your leaders, that was killed in Kaduna, if I'm not mistaken. And there's been sporadic attack here and there. If I'm very correct, I've not verified this. I think yesterday there was a news that broke to say that Barrister Ikenga house was attacked and his uncle was killed. I don't think he's not an obedient person, but he's been speaking for emancipation of Nigeria along that line. And also, too, I think when the incoming president visited his own state, very close to his helicopter, we see people rushing, and he was literally dragged into his helicopter. In my view, I think Obi is a phenomenon. We should not give chance for unnecessary thing happening. I'm appealing and also saying to you that we should consider security around those strong people within the Obi movement and even Obi and Dati themselves. What do you have to say about that?
I think we understand what we are in. We understand the realities on ground. You see, people love Peter Obi so much that what you see there happening, they are not looking for, they don't want to hurt him. They are just trying to show his.
I think we lost Dr. Chidi there. So while we expect Dr. Chidi's network to come back, I just want to say, our viewers, we're having some problem with our phone lines. I think Dr. Chidi is back now. We're having some problem with our phone line. So, but the line is on WhatsApp. You can call on WhatsApp. We'll be able to take your calls if you have any questions. Dr. Chidi, continue on your trajectory, sir. You are back on.
Yeah, I was saying that, you know, Nigerians love Peter Obi so much. The love is beyond description. So the surge of people to see him, to touch him, to feel him, they see him as a Messiah, as a savior that God has sent to come and deliver them from the years of slavery in the hands of a political bandit. So that's why they rush out towards him anytime they see him. In as much as we're not taking his security for granted, I can assure you that Obi has enough security information that guides his movement anywhere he goes. He has security professionals all around the world that direct him and monitors movements around him and ensures he's secured. I can assure Nigerians that Obi will go through this campaign unhurt. And I feel bad that people that are trying to be saved, that are being saved, are even the ones that are being sent to go and kill people and all that. People, you're killing people that are suffering with you. What do you get from that? May the soul of that sister that was killed in Kaduna find a perfect rest. And I know that what we're going to, we ensure that security around our candidates is of maximum in nature. And we are going to also ensure, if you look at it, all the rallies we have done so far, we have not had a single mishap. And we're not going to have a single mishap all through this election campaign period.
Amen.
Every care is put in place to ensure that all our candidates and the people that work with them are secured.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. To be honest, the issue of security is not something that is taken lightly. And I agree with you. His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, he likes being around his people. He enjoys it, and people just want to be around him, unlike some other candidates who are. And I saw the work himself and the whole team they did in Port Harcourt. They walked several kilometers, and you saw all the hailing, and people were just, so happy. To be honest, like you have said, Dr. Okpaluba, today, the surge we had in new voter registration, the departure from voter apathy is because of the entrance of Mr. Peter Obi in this race.
Yes.
In fact, today, I think we got a call. Hello. Yes, this is the Comrade Show, the Comrade and Friends.
Yes, I have a question for Dr. Chidi, please.
Okay.
What's your name and where are you calling
Go ahead.
from?
Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm calling from the Netherlands.
Okay, Emmanuel from Netherlands. Go ahead, sir.
My question is a very simple one. Dr. Chidi, there is this insinuation, or rumor rather, that in the northern part of Nigeria, people are buying PVC cards for as little as 2,000 naira. So what are the measures in place to be able to guard against such acts? They are buying PVCs, people's PVCs. They are weaponizing poverty, buying PVCs. What is the obedient group doing about that? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for your call. Dr. Chidi, I hope you got that question.
Yes. I do not see what anybody can do with buying somebody's PVC. I don't see how they're going to use it, except the only implication is probably to disenfranchise that person from voting the candidate of choice. If they were buying PVCs of obedience, then we are going to be of immense concern. But I don't think that actually video is correct. That video, it wasn't the PVC they were collecting. I think it was that video was taken from a camp, IDP camp, where they was giving a ticket, a card. When they collect that card from you, they give you money. I do not see what anybody can do with someone else's PVC. This time around, voting cannot occur unless your video and your fingerprint matches with what is on INEX register. So when you buy up somebody's PVC, the only thing you can do is to stop that person from voting.
Yeah, just a follow up. Yeah, just a follow up to that, Dr. Chidi. Some people have also said that the strategy they are using now, when they perceive a stronghold of the OB movement, they are going there to buy their PVC. What will be your advice to those that have not decided yet and those that want to be obedient?
Well, we have, the campaign has not ended. You see that there in the polls that are coming up, there are about 38% of people that have not actually decided on who to vote for. So we are reaching out to those people and convincing them on the need to move over to the obedience side. Now, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
So we are doing that. People, I do not think this issue of PVC will be people saying that PVC will happen with obedience. Obedience are self-sponsored people, self-motivated movement. These people have been spending their money to see the emergence of a new Nigeria. How would they now go and sell their cars? They are the ones funding this movement. OP has not given any money to any support group. The support groups are self-funding themselves. So how would they do all these things and then come back and sell their PVCs? Whoever you see selling PVC is not an obedient.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chidi. Whoever you see selling PVC is not an obedient. I want to use this media. I want to join Dr. Okpaluba and pharmacist Remembrance here to say that don't sell your PVC. Don't sell your life, the future of your children for 2,000 naira and suffer for another 4 or 8 years. Nigerians, if we miss, and God forbid it doesn't happen, so we don't even want to go there. So, Dr. Okpaluba, we want to thank you for your time today. We are rounding up this exciting program. I wish we got more time, but we know how busy you are. You need to attend to other things. So we are rounding up now, and I want to ask you something. The manifesto has been released, but I don't know. Have we been able to translate some of these things to other languages, or is this something that will be done later? So what is the position on that, very briefly?
It is in progress now. The translation of the manifesto into the different languages. As a matter of fact, the manifesto, after the manifesto, incidentally, I was a member of the manifesto committee also. After the manifesto was done, we had a session with the media and spokespersons team, and then we were able to help them develop the talking points. After that, then they were mandated to translate this manifesto to different languages. So that is being done. I'm not sure, I don't have the current information, whether that is completed now and is in the open, but I know there's a process that has been put in motion for that.
Thank you so much. Like I said, we are rounding up. Sorry, viewers of the show, we've had some problems with our phone lines today, but I did say if you want to call in directly on WhatsApp, the line is on. But I know many of you have been trying, and then we got that call from Holland. But there's been a lot of engagement from our viewers on YouTube and Facebook, and some of them have been able to put out for us to read. Thank you so much. So, by way of a parting shot, Final question for Dr. Okpaluba from you, from Assistant Remembrance. Then I will round up.
Thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed Dr. Chidi Okpaluba's interaction and chat with us today. I hope we can bring him back just before the elections. But I just want to ask, as a strategist yourself, I know you are doing lots of work. Sometimes it's said, don't count your chicken even before they are hatched or something, the way they put it. But I think we have to be hopeful and optimistic. I hope there is serious plan that Obi will hit the ground running by forming his cabinet quickly, because body language is very important in Nigeria. Do you want to speak to that? Are we ready? Are we good to go?
If you may wish to know, the policy and strategy team of the Obi government is already working, developing policies and strategies that will start happening from the day Obi swears in, is sworn in as the president and commander-in-chief. From the 29th of May, Obi will begin to make policy statements and decisions, because these things are already in place. The team is already, as I'm talking to you, the team is meeting every single week, discussing policies, discussing policy strategies on how things should be done. Security, infrastructure, human capital development, health, agriculture, all these things are already in place. The thing Obi will do the first 100 days is in place. What he's doing the first 1 year is in place. What's going to do the first 2 years and all that, they are already in place. And the team of experts from all across the world, they are sitting together every Wednesday by the internet, meeting, discussing, diagnosing, bringing solutions, and putting together these things in a compressed, distilled form that will be used by the incoming president.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. Very cerebral and polyglotic performance from you as a chief of strategy. Very, very impressive. We are really glad to have you here, sir. And we hope that if we have to call on you again at some point, you will oblige us. But before we go, this is what we have been doing on this series. We've had this series since last year. We've had a lot of, even Mr. Peter Obi himself has been on this show. We've had Professor Patu Tomi, Aisha Yusufu has been here. We've had Ogbede Faluyu Isibo, a lot of, and on and on and on. And you are here today, and more are still coming as we, go into the election next month. So this is a parting shot, Dr. Okpaluba. We hear that you speak a lot of languages. English language, you day. Pidgin English, you Sabian. Igbo language, you day. Even Yoruba Hausa self, you feel even speak some. So whichever one, according to your ranking, we want you to, because we are going to cut this out and circulate. Your message, very short message, in these languages you can speak. Talk to Nigerians, and we are zooming you in.
Nigeria today, they in a very critical condition, and Nigeria needs a man where there's sound for body, where there's sound for head, where there's sound for mind. Make it come help us deliver Nigeria from the mess. Make the man, make we come go bring Peter Obi to help us clean up Nigeria, clean up the mess around this country, the mess in security, the mess in unemployment, the mess in food scarcity, the mess in poverty. Everywhere, make we join hands, bring this man, make this man come make Nigeria better, make the wealth and abundance where they this country, make it for the rich, you and I. Make we not go say, because of 2,000 naira or 5,000 naira or even 500,000 naira, where politicians give you, you go sell your conscience and stay the future of your children and picking where you never born. Now, me, they tell you so. Peter Obi, Gabara Nigeria, Oga dem man na IGCK, where they na movement maka a new Nigeria is coming. And no force on when he get the no one when he can the emergence of a new Nigeria. a new Nigeria na nike. Now, my February 25, ana m ayọ gị nwoke nwanyị nwatakịrị nwokorobịa nwa agbọghọbịa ka ije ebe a na-atụ vootu pinye aka gị na ebe ahụ enwe logo mama papa and pikin Labour Party LP pinye aka gị ebe ahụ and ịpinyecha aka gị ichere wait make you no rush go home. That one day alone can make a difference in the life of the whole nation, in the life of Africa. Don't vote and rush home. When you vote, wait small, take time, and see that your vote is counted, and see that your vote is transmitted to the right source, and see that your vote is collected accurately, and see that the right result is released. That's the only time we can rest. Before we go say we want sleep, maybe we make sure say we don't go tell our neighbor the good news that Peter Obi and Dati Yusuf Ahmed, they are coming to rescue Nigeria. Go and tell your friend. Help me tell your neighbor. Help me tell your brother. Help me tell your sister. No, keep quiet, yo. If you keep quiet, and Nigeria, Yakata, now me and you go dey inside out. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Chidi Okpaluba, viewers of the Comrade Show. In the past 1 hour and 6 minutes, we've been talking with a very cerebral, polyglottic, intellectual Nigerian. He's the deputy director of the Big Tent Directorate, and is also one of the key strategies in the Peter Obi Dati Ahmed campaign organization. It's been really, really fantastic. Nobody needs to be told. If you are out there and you are still an undecided voter, I don't know what you are deciding. What are you deciding? This is the time for us to take back our country from the bandits, the political bandits that have, choked us. Those that are wasting our commonwealth. They are flexing our common patrimony. Don't delay. You've had it. And you've had it even from other guests that have come on this show. This is the time for us to be obedient. Remember, it's even in the Bible. And I'm sure it may even be somewhere in the Quran as well. Even in our African traditional religion, we don't joke with the issue of obedience. Now we say that, obedience is better than sacrifice, and to obey, than the voice of rams. So let us be obedient. For once, let us take the pain for the gain that will come tomorrow. I've always said this on this program and in some other fora, that the most potent weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. That is Steve Biko, South African activist. He said those things years ago. So this is our time to take back our country. And so the Obi Dati movement is an idea whose time has come, quoting the Spanish author, Hugo. So let us be wise. So on this note, I want to thank you so much, my brother and comrade, obedient pharmacist, Austin Iremira. Please just say one final word to the people before I go to Dr. Chidi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. Your anchorage has been spot on. Thank you, Dr. Chidi. To all our fans and viewers, thank you so much. Go out there, have a very good week. And for all Nigerians, remain useful and obedient.
Thank you so much, obedient pharmacist Remira. And of course, obedient Dr. Chidi Okpaluba. I saw that in your name somewhere. We know you are very, very obedient. We really appreciate you, sir. And we hope that by February 26th, there will be a huge dance on the street of Nigeria and all over the world as we celebrate this wonderful victory that God is going to give to us. We are really happy. Thank you for finding time to be with us, sir, despite your busy schedule. And we hope that when we invite you again, you will come.
Definitely. I'll be glad to. I've enjoyed every moment of this. Thank you so much. You guys are doing a great work.
Thank you, sir.
God will bless you people and reward your sacrifice. I know
Amen.
it's a lot of sacrifice to do this. Thank you so
Amen.
much. God bless you. Real good.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. So thank you very much, our brother Emmanuel that phoned in from Holland. All our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, a lot of engagement, and we're trying to put some out on the graphics. We appreciate you all. It is because of you that we are here. And let me say this again, like Dr. Chidi Okpaluba said today, a new Nigeria is possible. And we are destroying, using this Obidati presidency to destroy the structure of criminality that has held Nigeria down. God bless you all. We'll see you again by the grace of God, inshallah, next week, Sunday, same time, same station. Bye for now.
Are you a business owner? Do you make your own products? This is your best opportunity ever. Register your brand now with the first and largest marketplace promoting Nigerian-made products. Get access to over 17 million shoppers and customers currently in need of your products. Download on Google Play Store now to register or visit ekioja.com. Focus on creating your passion. Leave the marketing to us.